Hello and welcome to the video. This is the second of a series of 3 videos about referencing your work. If you remember, in step number 1, we actually had a look at some of the details around in-text citations and the reference lists. We're going to carry on with this video, step number 2, and we're going to have a look at an overview of referencing, and we're going to have a look for those reference guides that I promised in step number 1. So let's get underway. I'm going to share my screen with you now. So when you're doing your assessments, when you're starting off, you're normally doing something like a literature review. You're gathering all the information together that you need to put the assessment together with. That literature review often comes from a source of different material. You might be drawing on your own ideas when you're writing, or you might actually be looking for other people's ideas. And that's the literature that you need to reference. Someone else's ideas might come in different formats. For example, someone else's ideas might come through the peer-reviewed journal material that you might be looking for, or perhaps there might be other things as well, such as lecture slides, videos, tables, graphs, and websites, for example. All of these different sources, all from other people's ideas, need to be referenced appropriately. Do that and you'll get those extra marks in your assessment. In particular, written text is probably the most I guess, prominent in terms of literature that you'll be referring to. In terms of written text, there are 2 ways in which you can refer to it or you can use it in your assessment. First of all, you can quote directly, and secondly, you can paraphrase the work. Paraphrasing is by far the most preferred method for when you're compiling your assessments, because we know that you've been thinking about the work when we can see that the work has been paraphrased. If you're quoting somebody's work, it might look like this, where actually you've got a direct quotation from somebody, and that's in the quote marks that you can see there on the screen. So you directly quoted somebody. Now, you'd only really do that if there's no other way that you could write those words, or perhaps if the words are particularly famous that you really couldn't rewrite them anyway. So only quote work if you can't paraphrase it yourself. And of course, paraphrasing looks something like this. It's where you've read the work, you've thought about it, and you've come up with your own words about that work. Still needs to be cited though. And in fact, each of these different methods, as with everything else, has its own unique citations method. And we had a look at all of those in step number 1, if you remember. So in terms of citing and referencing your work, those details that we had a look at in step number 1 in the first video, you don't have to remember them all. There's actually quick reference guides available at AUT that you can look and check your work before you submit your assessment, get those extra marks. Let me share that with you now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the AUT website. There it is, because this is a nice good starting point for me to show you where to reference your work, where to get those reference guides. So first of all, right down the bottom of the website, AUT website, is the library link there. There it is. If I click on that, that'll bring me through to the library page. And on the library page, there I can see there the referencing panel. So right there on the main library page is the referencing information, and just down there I can see APA 7th referencing guide. Most of your work will be in format 7, so that's where all of the information is for APA 7. You don't have to remember it all. I'm going to click on that link there now and just bring me through to the page that is all of the information on APA format 7. And there it is. So lots of information there. Let me see if I can't zoom that up for you. Lots of information there on APA format 7. I just want to scroll down there because there's some really good information I want to share with you today. So there you've got brief guides for APA 7th format there. So if I click on that link, it's going to bring up a really handy PDF. Now this PDF I refer to all the time, so whenever I'm submitting my work, I'll make sure that I've got this PDF that I'm checking through and comparing and making sure that all of my referencing is correct. It's just too hard to remember it all. So there it is, a PDF, a quick reference guide of all the different, all the main types of referencing. So for example, let's just have a look at that first one, which is a book or an ebook. And there you can see the different in-text citation combinations. And also you can see the material that goes into the reference lists. I like this particular guide because it's got lots of different information and clues and alternative information as well. So inside that reference guide, all the information that you needed available on the AUT website. Just want to scroll through that there. You can see different things. There's even web pages, YouTube videos, conference papers, multiple authors, all available there. And the one at the end is really important. This is a common question for citing, which is an author of a chapter in an edited book, because a lot of textbooks at AUT might be edited books. So you might just be referring to a particular chapter. Very important. Look at the last one on the list and you can see exactly how to do that. Now, as well as the PDF, there are also other websites that are listed on the AUT website. Let's just go back to that again. So we're back to that AUT Library APA referencing website. There's where we just were at the APA 7th Brief Guide. If I just scroll down further there, then I can see some more information. There are some videos that the library has put together on referencing. And further on down there, I'll just scroll down there further. There are some sites there from different universities that provide another way of checking your work and how you reference. You might want to have a look at those. I'll just bring up one quickly because I quite like the APA Interactive by Massey University. Rather than a PDF, they've got an interactive, if you like, broken down in different sections. So for example, on the screen there, you can see the different kind of possibilities for referencing. There's one there for book. So I'm just going to click on that one. And it brings through all of the different options: one author, year, first edition, source, print. So you can actually choose the different combinations there, and it will give you across here all of the different possibilities for the reference list. And there are tabs here as well for in-text citations. So it will show you the different combinations there for in-text citations. So those are the reference guides that I promised, all available on AUT's library website. So you don't have to remember everything. You can just go and have a look at those guides to be able to help you with your referencing. Well, there we go. Nice and easy for step number 2. I hope that was useful for you. Works in conjunction with step number 1, the first video. So have a look at both together. And remember to have a look at step number 3, which is on semi-automating the entire process using a reference manager, in particular EndNote, which is available at AUT. Hope you found that useful. Remember to subscribe to this channel and like the video if you found it useful. That way I'll know to do more of this kind of work. Thank you very much and go well.